I came across a video. I have fairly dulled emotions, but I came across a video that kind of got to me. There's a girl named Taylor. She's in her car. She's crying. If you haven't seen it, I would have stitched it, but she has it off. And again, I respect when people don't want stuff stitched, downloaded, or otherwise taken. And I'm not going to put any tags in there because she's already having a more difficult time with things. But it was very difficult for me to watch, and I didn't expect it to be. I just came across her randomly. She's visibly upset in her car. She's crying because she can't mask anymore. She's been diagnosed as autistic and she can't mask. And over the past week and a half or so, I've seen a number of videos and I've looked up some information, and I just focusing on her video, she was so upset. And I know she's trying to express something good, like she's glad that she got it done, but it's hard at this point in my life though. And I saw a lot of supportive comments that like, I know it's hard to be late diagnosis, to be late diagnosed. And I think if anything, the needle has been pushed more to a no for me of getting late diagnosis of autism, because the more that I look around, between discovering that there are at least 4 developed nations that discriminate against people with autism, from learning that basically it's treated like a disability, but without any of the benefits of a disability. And I know that sounds harsh, but I mean is like, if I had no legs, I could still get a job. But if you're autistic, you get judged right away. And not that people who have physical disabilities don't get judged, but it seems like there's more protections, right? With autism, there appear to be no protections. There seem to be no anti-discrimination protections for a person who's autistic. And when I fill out job applications and I see the disclaimer at the end that says, do you identify as any of these? As soon as I see the on the spectrum portion of it, it really is such a cruel joke, because I know it's going to be an automatic no in so many positions. The way I see it, normal people, even a friend of mine kind of sees it this way, is that an autistic person is one of two things. You're either Rain Man, or you're What's Eating Gilbert Grape, Leonardo DiCaprio's character in What's Eating Gilbert Grape, right? That's what they see. I know the second one is not an accurate description. I'm just using that as a way to paint a picture of what people see. They either see you as Rain Man or that. That's it, right? Either you're really good with math, numbers, and gambling, or you're just not capable of doing anything. They don't understand that there's so much in between. And between, worry of discrimination and everything else, I have no interest in becoming diagnosed. One, there's the cost. And the way she talks about things, it sounds like she's lost everything. She talks about losing the bandwidth of things she had, losing capabilities she had. That doesn't sound empowering. I don't want to be normal if that's the case. I don't want to lose my quirks, my personality, and who I am for the sake of being put in a box for everybody else to judge or be easier to work with. I understand as it is now that if I'm autistic, it's been the reason I've lost multiple jobs. I understand that. And as difficult as that is, and I would prefer it maybe better in that case, I'm not about to give up my entire personhood for the sake of fitting in with everybody else. Because fitting in has never done me any good. It has never made anything better. And even now you're getting a masked version of me that I can't control. You're getting me as I'm presenting myself to you. There's things that I think I'm presenting to you that you can't see, that aren't there. And I live with on a daily basis. I have friends that I love dearly, but can only handle them in so much of a capacity. And I love them dearly. I don't hate them for it. It's just a part of who I am. And as far as I know at this point, I am autistic, but I'm not getting an official diagnosis because I just see it as a way of limiting you. I have not seen many people or many compelling cases where they can tell me, oh, it's great, I got all these accommodations, life became suddenly easier. No, every time I hear someone talking about what happened after the diagnosis, it's always that they learned how to contain themselves around people so they were less of a burden. That seems ridiculous to me. And I know that there are other people with other disabilities that will understand what I'm talking about, how it is exhausting to have to be the one to move everybody else's away. That's not what accommodation is. Accommodation is not having to silence yourself for the sake of others. And it really is just so disheartening, because I was trying to figure out, like, okay, what can I do? I have no job right now, so that opens me up to some other resources, maybe possibly get a diagnosis that might make things easier. But the more I research into it, it doesn't make it any easier. It doesn't. You basically get treated as though you're disabled, but there's no benefit to it. And when it comes to studies on autism, the information is so little. The field is so vastly unexplored. It really is just insulting to a degree. So how do you feel about this? If you're on the spectrum, what are your thoughts? Are you somebody else who thinks you might be autistic but has avoided getting a diagnosis? Does somebody have a success story? Please make a video and respond to me with that video, something, just so I can get an idea of the other side of things if it's out there. Tell me how it's changed your life. I don't think there's many of those out there, and maybe somebody else's experience has been good. I want to know more specifically, like how it changed your life in a good way, or how it made work easier, jobs easier, things like that. But I just haven't seen a lot of good stories. Actually, I've seen none. I can say, and I haven't seen any good stories. I see people on this app every day that struggle. I see their outbursts and I understand them. There's a comedian slash author now at this point who's on here, who was in the military, and some of his content has made me kind of wince because it's just been kind of off note. But I understand the struggle. I see it because I've had same issues in my life where you say and do things out of frustration, anger, or not being understood, and you don't know what else to do but to say something about it, like I'm doing here. And maybe people may not agree, but I feel like there's just not much that can be done about it. If something upsets me, I'm going to say something about it because I was told to be quiet for so long, and it just made me feel awful. I'd been medicated for bipolar when I wasn't bipolar, things like that that have happened that did not make me feel any better. And I just don't have a lot of faith in a system wanting to label me as autistic for the purpose of just shoving me into a box and making sure I can fit in. I just don't like that. Anyway, what are your thoughts, guys? Hopefully somebody's got some good success stories. I'd like to hear something positive, something good, but I'm just not seeing it at this point.